special guest, Thompson Square.
You gonna kiss me all night.
June 21st at Oak Mountain Amphitheater. Get reserved seats now at LiveNation.com or charge by phone.
Hey, I'm just looking for.
Don't miss Lady Annabella and Darius Rucker with special guest Thompson Square. Sponsored by GAC. Buy tickets at LiveNation.com.
The biggest bands in rock. The wildest stage shows on earth. The biggest live event of the summer.
Everybody's gonna move their feet.
Kiss and Motley Crue. The Tour 2012. It doesn't get any better than this. July 31st, Oak Mountain Amphitheater. 2 iconic bands, 1 historic tour. Kiss, Motley Crue. July 31st, Oak Mountain Amphitheater. Reserve seats are on sale now. Buy tickets at LiveNation.com or charge by phone at 800-745-3000. Kiss and Motley Crue. Buy tickets at LiveNation.com.
Meow. Meow, man. Just had a Tex Avery cartoon flashback to the Three Droopies. Rising again on a beautiful summer Sunday night. Top of the hour, top of the world to you. Live from the vault in the Full Range Entertainment Studios in beautiful Birmingham, USA, this is Global Championship Wrestling's GCW Radio. Yours truly, the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Lane behind the control panel, welcoming in
the voice of reason, Ted Guinness from the Loud Noises studio, and 85% of the greatest play-by-play announce team in professional wrestling.
The voice of reason, eh?
The voice of reason, yes.
Where did you get that one from?
I used to use that on my radio show a long, long time ago.
Oh, I am the epitome of insanity and loving every minute of it. And
there's nothing wrong with that.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. Of course, most of the people around me think that I seriously need therapy, but that's an entirely different animal all into itself and a show for a different point in time.
I will agree with that 100%.
Broadcasting live through BeyondRingside.com, as well as broadcasting through the Ustream site, because we're going to get back to using Ustream as an archive point, but prefer actually asking everybody to come on over to BeyondRingside.com. Thank you to everybody listening through the GCW Facebook fan page, the plug-in over there. Like I said, we have a full chat room set up over through BeyondRingside.com, and the non-Ustream invasive version of the live show is going through .com. We might actually try to set up a player through GCWPro.com somewhere down the road. Our webmaster has been on the road so much recently. It's been and he's had such a hectic schedule. He's actually trying to keep up with me as far as staying busy goes. Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck updating the roster page. O'Hagan, that was for you, buddy.
There you go. Actually, we're scheduled to be joined by Mr. O'Hagan and by JJ Tanner a little bit later on in the show, as soon as I get the opportunities. First, I want to say to, of course, my father, 81 years young, he who has put up with me longer than I've had active brain cells. To my dad, happy Father's Day. Much love, always. Ted, I know, of course, you are a father yourself. I want to say happy Father's Day to you, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Happy Father's Day to all those who have offspring. Some of you probably shouldn't, but, you know, we'll celebrate it anyways.
Also,
happy Father's Day to my dad, who's 70. God, how old is my dad now? Let's see, this is 2012, 71.
And a longtime friend of mine who listens to this show every once in a while. Evil, I know you're going to be listening eventually. You refer to your birthday as Happy Spawning Day. And, of course, you went ahead and procreated on your own. Did a hell of a job, my friend. To you and Tammy. I want to say hi there. Taking a look over in the chat room, it's already going crazy in there.
We've got
the asylum is open.
Cause, Creepy, Hot Ice, Lee, and the Sean Ross. And, of course, Fast Eddie Lane and myself. And due to a request from the chat room tonight, I will not be playing sound effects tonight. Maybe.
Yeah, but just crank the volume down on Windows Media Player.
I had the volume all the way down to like 1/10, so I don't know if it's the feed coming from monitor 2 into my mixer. I still haven't even looked at the instruction manuals. This whole thing is jury rigged the way it is right now.
And I'm very happy. One of these days I'm gonna actually get a picture of it. But right now I'm up to 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of my studio probably tomorrow after I get the Loud Noises Inc. signs hung up.
I really want to go ahead and do some demolition on my current broadcast desk and get that changed around to the way I want it, but I'm actually full scale up to 4. So I have a new acquisition this week. It finally took place. I needed it, and it's time. So we're back. So, of course, GCW Radio, of course, is a Monitor 4 production.
In association with Loud Noises Inc.
There you go, and Mad Dog Media.
And Courtlow something or other.
Courtlow Media Distribution.
Okay. Once again, I failed to get the memo.
It's okay. I've actually had Courtlow ever since the 80s because, damn it, sometimes you just got to be a Courtlow to work here. And we've proven that one on more than one occasion. For those of you in the central Alabama area who caught it live last night, I've been getting the overnights. Some of the early numbers came in from CW. Wow. Thank you. We found out the situation with the television product. And here's what the thing is. The way it broke down, when the CW didn't send the signal 2 weeks ago for DVRs to update to going to a 1-hour format for the television product, apparently they felt that they were doing the world a favor by rebroadcasting last Sunday the show from 2 weeks ago so the DVRs could pick it up in its entirety. Unfortunately, in this circumstance, there was time-sensitive material as far as the broadcasts go. So, in theory, the show that should have aired last Sunday aired this morning at 1 a.m. on CW21 in the central Alabama area, as well as some of the .2s for Sinclair. And this is something that's actually astounding me because of the feedback that we're getting from all different parts of the state.
You want to share that information, or are you just going to keep it yourself and tease us?
Well, first off, the numbers have been going up exponentially over the last few weeks. And the early numbers, I'm not going to put that much faith in. I want to see the 24-hour overnight numbers. And I want to wait for the +7s for the DVR. But last Sunday's episode came in, and remember something here. We're talking about a show that airs 1 a.m. on what is classified as a secondary broadcast network in the central Alabama area, because the CW is still not classified as, ABC, Fox, NBC, and CBS. They have programming that's better than the Big Four sometimes.
And programming that's a heck of a lot worse.
No kidding. I still flash back to Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, Wes Mendel's speech in the pilot episode. But the number that came in for last Sunday's episode was a 2.2 rating. Ring of Honor is actually doing in a earlier Saturday night time slot I think it's a 0.6. Impact in Birmingham in the central Alabama market is actually drawing a 0.9 if my numbers are correct.
Wow.
Yeah, and at Sunday morning 1 a.m. we're pulling a 2.2.
Yeah, imagine if we were in a primetime time slot.
Personally, and I'm not speaking as an employee of GCW. I'm not speaking as the commissioner. I'm just speaking as, the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Lane for a second. I wouldn't mind us bumping it up 1 hour. If we went midnight, that would make me happier. But there are times when I'm at home on a Sunday night at 1 a.m., when I'm not at home Sunday morning at midnight. So it's one of those situations. So of course I would love to see GCW go primetime.
Of course.
And, but thing about it is you have to weigh the pros and cons of the situation. We live in an era now that has been changed by the VCR and now the DVR. Not to mention the fact that a lot of people, myself included, have TV tuner cards, and your computers are now digital video recorders. Watch it on the television. The ratings count, trust me. And you can watch it on computer later, but make sure your DVR and cable box are set for Sunday morning 1 a.m. on the CW, please. But for everybody who has been all of there have been a lot of new people that I've been getting messages from over on Facebook and Twitter. And first off, thank you. And to those who have been with us, A, since the beginning, and B, over the last couple of years, thank you. Saturday morning 10 a.m. would probably be a good time for a lot of people. I'm still asleep at Saturday morning at 10. 10 after 10? No, but at 10, I'm asleep. You forget, I work 2 jobs 3 days a week, but that's just me. The rest of the time, I'm just working. But it's been incredible. And for everybody, and I believe we discussed the numbers for the podcast last week here on the show before we went to Cluster USA.
Yep.
Yeah.
That which will not be talked about ever again.
No.
The worst idea in the history of any type of radio ever. It was
fun for a minute. No, there have been some ideas worse than that. Come on. I live in Birmingham. I dealt with Mark and Brian. And I dealt with Rick and Bubba. So there have been some really bad ideas come down the pike. I dealt with Lex and Terry. Trust me, there have been some really bad ideas come down the pike. That's it.
I will still submit that was one of the worst ideas that we have ever had. And I will take 85% of the credit for having one of the worst ideas ever, because I think it was my idea.
No, I think it was a backlash from cause and effect.
Yeah, probably. Okay, we will give all the blame to cause and effect.
There you go.
That works for me. I can live with that. I can look at myself in the mirror and say, it wasn't mine. Thank God.
Bree, what you talking about? We actually did start on time. Ha, ha, ha. But from that, unless there's a problem with the server that I don't know about, that's why we've also got the Ustream feed going as well.
You were talking about, 1 a.m. in Central Alabama on the CW, and this is way out of my even range for even me to be even suggesting this, but we have a channel here based out of Atlanta called Peachtree TV. It's one of those local channels that, if you look up and down the schedule, there's more Tyler Perry programming than pretty much anything else on. I would love to see GCW television get brought over to the Atlanta market, because I think it's time.
Okay.
I honestly think it's time, and I think that there are avenues that, on certain nights and times that GCW would fill in, and I guarantee you within probably 6 weeks, you'd start seeing some of the comparable numbers in Atlanta that you see in Birmingham. That's just me.
It is conceivable, and actually we're looking at different markets as well. We've been getting some great feedback off the web version of the television product from people who are living in Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana. Thank you to everybody who has been listening and watching the television product online through Blip. The numbers continue to grow, and it's honestly, I make this statement more than I realize that I do, but it's genuinely a lot of fun to be affiliated and associated, especially considering the fact the front office has put up with my happy butt for as long as they have. And there's guys a lot better looking than me out there, and I'm not talking about you, Ted, so go away and leave me alone.
I wasn't even paying attention to you.
What?
Exactly.
There you go. First off, last Saturday, Jasper, great outing, tremendously enjoyed it, but we have got a show on the horizon right now, and the aftermath from the entire global warfare situation is going to continue, but there are also some brand new faces and some returning faces to Global Championship Wrestling. And Saturday night, June 30th, in the Pell City Civic Center.
Bell time 7:30. Tickets only $10.
Wondered if you're going to take the bait on that.
I was over on Monitor 4. My Monitor number 2, typing something on Twitter.
Oh, okay, yeah, I just did the updates on Twitter too. By the way, follow at GCWProWrestling as well as
at Loud Noises Inc. at Loud Noises Inc. and at Underground SOPW.
Yeah, I thought you were going to do the Underground reference first, but
no. Get my stuff over first, please. Come on now. I may be underground, but I am still selfish.
If you think And this is something I'm going to address to a lot of the GCW faithful. If you think because Micah Taylor said I quit that you're going to see the last of the Underground, you are tremendously wrong. Ted is very much a evident factor of that, correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, the Underground is, we've talked about this before. The Underground is not just a fly-by-night faction that a couple of guys got together and say, hey, let's do something and call it the Underground. The Underground is a family. We train 3 days a week, sometimes 4. We travel together. I mean, this is legitimately, we are a family, all based out of the South Atlanta, Georgia area. And, so one defeat, that's all that is a setback. It's just another battle in an ongoing war that, sooner or later, everything is going to come to a head, whether it's going to be a 10-man elimination tag match or however this gets set up to finally end with one side reigning over the other, all bragging rights done, whatever. It's Underground, just like GCW is a family.
Right. The Underground will be well represented Saturday night, June 30th in Pell City, Alabama, when Xander Stone goes one-on-one with Jeremy Foster. Now, this on paper and in reality is going to be a match where I use my favorite 2 words. Don't blink. Jeremy Foster, if you think his issues with Cody O'Connor are done and in the books, because this has gotten personal to a great degree, but on this night, Jeremy Foster is going to have to face a very strong challenge from a very talented
and a very strange,
keep going,
Xander Stone.
Now, you have an opportunity to work with Xander on a regular basis.
Yes, I do.
And coming into this match, Xander has been working tag team action as well as singles competition. It was made clear last week here on GCW Radio that his longtime tag team partner, Kuntz, is moving to the Maryland area. But we'll be coming back every once in a while. But he's still very much Underground through and through. He made that very clear last week, and I don't blame him one bit. I can leave and go to California in 5 minutes, and I'll still be GCW through and through. But, Ted, I'm going to call on your insight, and we're going to have a little bit more time to pre-cap, because remember, we've got 2 weeks before the next event.
Yes, we do.
On paper, how do you see Xander Stone and Jeremy Foster matching up?
I honestly don't think you can compare the two as far as style goes. Jeremy Foster is in a kind of in a situation in his career where he could end up being Marty Jannetty, or he could be a very standout singles competitor. I think he's in a tough situation where he's trying to find himself in exactly what his niche in the ring is going to be. On the other side of that, you have Xander, who is nuts. He is he's nuts. And no, I don't speak Xander creepy. It's actually I'm working on the Xander to English dictionary, and it's not coming along very well at all. You don't know what Xander's going to do, what Xander's going to say at any given moment. And I think I think the dynamic to this match really comes down to the unpredictability of Xander Stone. You can't prepare for a competitor like this. All you can do is kind of have a game plan and try to stick to that. But let's be honest, Eddie. Everyone that's gone into the ring with Xander Stone, including the Inhuman Fly last time in Jasper, Alabama, that playbook goes out the window 15 seconds into the match. He's that bizarre. He is that unpredictable, and I think that is what makes him so great in the ring right now. Breaking away from Kuntz, breaking away from KCP, having a lot more time working in a singles environment than Jeremy Foster has at this point. I think when push comes to shove, Xander Stone is going to win this match. I'm not going to say Jeremy's not going to put up a tremendous fight, because I know the type of competitor that Jeremy Foster is, but I don't see Jeremy beating Xander. There's just way too many variables.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the chat room and a comment. By the way, Remy, good to see you tonight. You forgot the Remy and you forgot the L in Remlat, by the way. I do pay attention to details like that. Remy made the comment, I heard Jeremy has been training with Coach Khan. That means a lot of tanning and a lot of tons of Faygo grape. I haven't seen Faygo grape on the shelves in forever and a day. That was a beautiful reference.
Well, I'll tell you what, they sell it actually over at a grocery store by my house, so on the 30th I'll bring you a couple bottles.
Of course, I'm also the one who sat back and said that I'm not going to say it. I miss grape knee-high. I'll put it that way.
Wow, Radar O'Reilly reference.
Yes, very much so. One of my favorite shows of all time is MASH.
Yes.
And I had a chance to, I'm taking a moment right now, breaking away from the chat room, taking a look at some of the photographs that have been posted over the last few, courtesy of Victor Smith over at GCW Photos.
Oh, God, I just saw one of Francis.
And that's the first one you see on my on that fan page, too, I know.
Oh, jeez, I gotta hold on, I gotta run a virus scan. I think my computer just got infected.
Okay. And here's something I'm going through, and I did not realize that we had like 15 friend requests that I had missed from the last time I logged in. Let me go ahead and say this, because I know a lot of wrestlers and workers in this industry will send over Facebook requests and as well as, they'll listen to the show. It's like, how can I get ideas on booking? The Facebook fan page nor the friend page handle booking. I get so many messages in a week. Hey, I live over here and I really want to come work with y'all. Well, guess what? Thank you for taking the time to send over your Facebook message. But I will say this. Please send email to our office, gcwmedia@yahoo.com. Include a full bio, including training, as well as links to videos of full matches that you have up and online for us to take a look at. The reason why I say that is because anybody can put up a highlight reel. It takes a little while longer because you have to go through and call out your highlights and go, hey, I looked really good there. Well, put up the whole match and let's see.
If you're only putting up a 30-second highlight video, chances are you're not that good.
Ow.
I'm just saying. Just throwing that out there for all you aspiring wrestlers who might want to get into Global Championship Wrestling. 30 seconds of highlights over a 2-year career is not a positive message to be sending.
For the record, I saw the thread over in the fan page, and I have not, because I've been on the road so much over the last few days, and I've actually, this was actually the wild card episode of GCW Radio, because I was originally going to be in Florida this weekend. Didn't happen. I had to push the vacation back. Tell them Kaz doesn't do bookings. No, but I know some people who would probably like to see Cause and Effect film live in their location. Hint, hint. So we're working on that concept, Kaz. I have not forgotten. I'm just waiting on the rest of the construction to finish in a different area. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah, but there is some great talent out there, and I read the thread, including, especially the one featuring Nature Boy Paul Lee.
Who?
Nature Boy Paul Lee.
Who? Oh, you mean the Ric Flair ripoff wannabe? Okay,
now,
I'm
on the same
page with you.
Now, wait a minute. Let me say this. You're speaking to someone who has been a fan of this industry ever since he was in single-digit ages. I've been in this industry for over 25 years. And I had a conversation during an earlier radio show today with somebody who was there when I broke into this business. And remember, a lot of people like to do tributes, as I like to call them, to specific individuals in this business.
And then there are some people who like to completely steal other people's gimmicks because they are uncreative enough to come up with their own.
Or they feel that they can pull it off.
And I don't think Paul Lee does.
I personally think he does an admirable job. There are times when I think that Paul Lee does a better job than Buddy Landel. There's times when I think Buddy Landel is a better one than Ric Flair. Because Ric Flair's not even Ric Flair anymore.
Well, no, I mean, that's obvious. You know, Ric Flair hasn't been Ric Flair since Shawn Michaels put him out of, quote-unquote, officially retired him back at one of those big shows that they like to hype every March. I won't even say the name of the show anymore because it doesn't live up to the hype.
You mean April 1st?
Yes. March 30th, April 1st, one of those days.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yep.
Real quick, want to take a moment to say hello, everybody just now joining us in the chat room, and to everybody who have been there from the beginning. Brandy, Bree Nolan, Cos, Creepy, yours truly, Hot Ice, Lee, Remy, Ted. Yes, Ted and I can multitask. Sean Ross, to everybody in the chat room, thank you for joining us. I have not looked over at the Ustream feed, so I don't know who all is over in that chat room, but if you're listening to us on the Ustream site, please.
Hope you're enjoying the random ads.
Yeah, no kidding. That is the reason why we went ahead and set up the direct feed through beyondringside.com. So, looking over there, and I'm just trying to wait on Ustream. Gee, what a surprise. Ustream takes forever to load.
Is anyone surprised?
I am so glad that we moved over to .com.
Yes.
So, just like Ted is a better Michael Cole than
Michael
Cole is.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I'm still debating that.
Yes, I know. Smoking's bad for me, Cos. So is poached salmon. But as we say in different parts of the country, salmon. Coming back over to monitor number 1. I really wouldn't compare yours truly or Ted to anybody on a nationally broadcast product right now. The closest comparison that I would make would probably be to Taz 4 years ago. That to me is a compliment. Nigel McGuinness over at ROH does a great job. Kevin Vanilla Kelly, yeah. But you know something? And to everybody who has been making the comments that they stack myself and Ted up against any combination on national television today, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I mean, we have fun with what we do, and we hope it shows, and we hope that we're able to convey that. And I remember last night's broadcast, or this morning's broadcast of GCW TV. We were making a joke about show notes. Have either of us ever walked out with show notes in our hand?
No. I think the closest that we've ever come to show notes is you come out with your notebook that has the card on it, but that is it.
Yeah.
And we talked about that at one point, that everything that we do is organic, and that is just proof of that. We don't do notes. We fly by the seat of our pants. And let me address something Bree Nolan throws out. Neither of you has Bell's palsy. That's I'm not a fan of that comment. Let me throw my 2 cents in on that, and then we get back to whatever we were talking about.
Yep.
I was talking to my wife the other day, and that subject came up with Jim Ross, and I actually think, and he may not take this as a compliment, he may, I don't know, he probably never won't hear it, so he probably doesn't care. But is it me, or does his commentary seem to have gotten better with every bout of Bell's palsy he has? It's just something about his commentary, to me, has gotten better with every bout. And I'm not saying that, I'm glad that he got it, because no one ever wishes anyone to ever go through an affliction like that.
Oh, God, no.
But if you want to talk about a true professional and someone that has upped his game in the face of adversity, you need to look no further than Jim Ross.
I'll agree to that. I will agree to that. Tell you what, let me spin back around here because we are going to go to our first break real quick, and folks, we'll be back in about 4 right here on GCW Radio.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Seacrest for RAD. Over 300 people in this country are killed every week by a drunk driver. That's the equivalent of 2 747 plane crashes every single week. And the problem isn't going away unless we all do our part to stop it. So if you see someone who's about to drive after drinking, get the keys. Don't leave it up to anyone else. friends don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service announcement brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
8. I deliver your Sunday paper every week.
7. We work on the same floor.
1 in 8 Americans is struggling with hunger.
6. Our kids walk to school together every day,
including millions of children and seniors.
5. We chat in the elevator at work sometimes.
4. I'm your cashier at the grocery store.
Who's the 1 in 8 in your life that needs help? You can make a difference through Feeding America at feedingamerica.org/1 in 8. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Yep. Buck. Fan. Yep. Fan talk. Hello. Nope. Fan read. Book. Fan read. Nope. Oh, switch. Fan.
Most days go by without a whole lot of surprises. But what if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? Would you be prepared? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Learn how at www.ready.gov. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Ad Council.
The odds of becoming a signed artist and having 3 #1 albums? 1 in 100 million. The odds of going on to win 6 Grammy Awards? 1 in 1.4 million. The odds of this performer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org. Autism Speaks. It's time to listen. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Ozzy Osbourne. For many years, you know I've had a drink problem, and I'm trying to battle that problem every single day. But one thing I don't drive my car when I'm drinking. I get someone to drive me. Do not drink and drive. It's the stupidest thing. If you drink, just don't drive. Not only are you going to hurt yourself, you may hurt some other person, and you wouldn't want that on your conscience, would you?
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Radio. Radio. Yep. Radio.
I miss you, Jim Henson. Welcome back into GCW Radio. Sunday night, 28 before the top of the hour. Fast Eddie Lane on this side of the board.
Yeah. Me over here. I got nothing.
Remy, thank you for the idea. Let me swing back around to monitor 4. The Yep Monsters. God love it. Sesame Street. I missed that. Also, yeah, just too much fun. That's all I can say. If you think we take the world that seriously, guess what? You're listening to. I'd like to know what show you're really listening to. I was going to play the whole bit, but I decided to hold off. Especially, I actually played the wrong one to begin with, but I like the fan sketch just as much as I like the radio sketch. Speaking of like it, love it, learn all of the above, don't forget, you got it. Facebook.com/GCWProWrestling, and you can find us on Twitter as well at GCWProWrestling. Run it all together, one word. Ted?
What were we doing? What were we talking about?
Facebook, Twitter.
Oh, yeah, Facebook. Don't bother me on Facebook. Twitter at TedGuinness.com, at UndergroundSOPW, and at Loud Noises Inc.
Now, the tag team scene here in GCW is actually in a little bit of a state of flux. We are working to find out situations in play, and Micah is not coming off any information. A number of people know, and this is legit straight shoot all the way across the board. Yep. That... I'm sorry, I did the Martian thing and I lost my train of thought. That Spiral is actually going to be with 01 Japan for the next 3 months. He's going to be there for 97 days. Which puts the tag team circumstance into a giant question mark. Micah has officially petitioned the front office of Global Championship Wrestling, and we are going to find out. I'm actually going to be in conference Monday morning with the front office of GCW to find out exactly what's going to happen with the tag team situation. So Von Gruber and Spiral are still recognized as the GCW World Tag Team Champions right now. What's going to happen from here? Now, I tell you something. I got 2 words for you: Volcano Sushi. If you got a place that knows how to make it right, you're going to love it. I'm cool with it. So now, Ted, have you had any conversations with Micah as it pertains to the Tag Team Gold?
I have had conversations with Micah, and I know exactly what is going to happen with the Tag Team Gold. I am not at liberty to discuss those plans at this point. That's the nice way of saying it. The other way of saying it is Micah told me that if I let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, that he would be pummeling me personally, and that is just not a beating that I am willing to take at this point in time.
However, the reason why I say the tag team circumstance is in a state of flux, as you know, Kuntz, one half of KCP, is now up in Maryland. Cody O'Connor, Jeremy Foster, High Definition, poof, concentrating on singles careers to a degree. From that vantage point, Maniac O'Malley is out indefinitely because of the rib injury sustained in the 2 out of 3 falls strong style match.
Yes, sir.
Which leaves technically O'Hagan without a partner in the Brotherhood, where I understand that he's actively scouting, but may also consider revamping his singles career as well, because a lot of people... Bree, to a degree, it is and it's not. The reason why I say it like that is because Micah did officially petition, and I'm segueing for a second. I'm addressing the chat room from Bree Nolan. Micah put forth an official petition to the board of directors and the front office of GCW, asking us to not make an official decision as far as the status of the tag gold, because the tag belts can still technically be defended through Von Gruber for a 30-day. Nothing has to be done for 30 days. If the tag team championship can be defended in 30 days, then as commissioner, I'm personally okay with it. So can Von Gruber defend in a 1-on-2 circumstance, he being the one person to represent the tag team, since the other half of the tag team can't be there, because I'm not paying to fly Spiral in for 1 night from Japan, unless he brings me a really, 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 really big plate of Volcano Sushi. Taipei 101 in Birmingham. That's all I'm going to say. Great food.
You are now responsible for getting them on board as a sponsor. Way to go, Eddie.
Hey, cool. I might actually get Mizu first, though. That's a different story. Mizu down in Alabaster. I'm not going to address it as Wolfpack rules or Freebird rules, because that has not been decided. But like I said, they've got, at this point, 2 more weeks. And I'll know something tomorrow morning, and we'll be able to give you the full exclusive here on GCW Radio next Sunday night. 9 p.m. Central, 10 o'clock Eastern, and the rest of the time zones are
on their own, which is actually a shame, because what did the other time zones ever do to you to leave them orphaned like that, Eddie? That's what I want to know.
Nothing.
Well, then why you keep picking on them? I mean, they are harmless, innocent time zones, and you're just ostracizing them just because they are in different time zones. Okay, folks, this is what happens when you do a radio show after you've had a few Father's Day libations. That's all I'm going to say about that.
And I've got my green monster right over here. especially after the trip to Waffle House earlier today. That's what my dad wanted.
And we have 2 more sponsors coming on board. Thank you, Eddie.
Not a problem. Trust me, I'm actually going to have some free time to go out and do some marketing. So I will say this, folks, if you know good local businesses that are ready to advertise at a reasonable price, get them in touch with me over on Facebook, through my personal page, not through Fast Eddie Lane, but through the personal page of Eddie Lane, you know the last name. And in honor of my father and my late mother, I will say Eddie Lane Powell. So I put that out there out of respect to my family, and to my parents especially. And today, Father's Day, because I know my dad goes back and listens through a friend of his. They pull up the podcast. So once again, Dad, I know you're going to be listening eventually. Happy Father's Day. But coming back into the tag team circumstance, there is a new team on the horizon. Full Throttle, Trevor Eon, Joey Lightning. 2 very exciting young competitors. Now, longtime fans of GCW, speaking of, and if you put the word diet in front of that, Wayne, I'll sit back and say, I'd love to have them on board as a sponsor, even if Dale Jr. had not won today, which I'm very elated to the fact that he did. Congratulations to Dale Earnhardt Jr. 4 wins, 4 years, finally got a win.
Who cares?
But from that vantage point, Full Throttle, tremendous young team. I know you've had a chance to scout them as well, Ted.
Yeah, I wouldn't go so far as to call them a tremendous young team. I would go so far to say one of the competitors is extremely tremendous, and the other one is just okay.
I'm going to tell Trevor you said that about him.
Trevor knows that I think he's a tremendous competitor.
Nice deflection. Joey is back off the DL. And a lot of people know that a couple of months ago up in Jasper, suffered a hip flexor injury.
At the hands of, I want to say it was at the hands of Xander Stone.
Yes, it was.
That's all I have.
Okay. And they will be taking on a new combination. And I think they're testing the waters to see how they fare. And that would be Cody O'Connor. As if Cody is a stranger to tag team wrestling, which I think would benefit Steve Styles, who he'll be teaming up with on Saturday night, June 30th in Pell City, Alabama.
That's an interesting combination right there. Well, number one, you have 2 huge egos on the same team, not unlike the 2 huge egos that are behind the broadcast booth every single week. You have one who proclaims to have the best drop kick in the world, and the other one who proclaims to be on the level of let's see. Someone who chooses to call himself the best in the world, and the other one who constantly repeats yes, yes, yes over and over again.
We'll talk about that particular scenario in a few minutes. I'm going to be very candid for a second. There is an art form to tag team wrestling. Not everybody is cut out for it. And a lot of longtime wrestling fans will sit back and go, oh, that's just a team they threw together. There's no reason for it. Let me remind you of something. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, known as multi-time NWA World Tag Team Champion Rock and Roll Express, were not always a tag team. Before they got together, Robert Gibson used to team with his brother Rick Gibson. Know him very well. Ricky Morton was actually a very talented singles competitor in the junior heavyweight category, as well as Robert in the junior heavyweight category. They both held the United States Junior Heavyweight Championship back in the days of Southeastern Championship Wrestling here in this market. So they were not always the Rock and Roll Express. Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers gained national notoriety as a team called the Fantastics. They were not always tag team partners. They were also very well established singles competitors before they became the Fantastics. And that list goes on and on. A lot of people look at Steve Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy as one of the best teams of all time, especially for their work in Japan. These two were hated rivals for a long time domestically here in the lower 48 before they went on to be a very good tag team. So you never know Just because a team has working together for the first time, they may find that chemistry. They may find that reason to click. They may instantly develop a sense of timing between the two of them. And so when you sit back and you see a new team being formed, because remember, O'Hagan here in GCW has actually had multiple tag team partners and is a multi-time tag team champion with different partners, as well as a very accomplished singles wrestler because he is a former GCW heavyweight champion and has held the TV title. And I believe he's even held the... he and the Inhuman Fly are the only two that are pure Grand Slam champions in GCW, because they've held every single and every tag belt that we have had to offer. Every piece of gold that GCW has had to offer, they've held. From that vantage point, like I said, I look at the possibility of Styles and O'Connor. They both do have a very high level of self-confidence. Is that the nice way of saying ego? Yes, it is. And now, back to the conversation. But they also have great reason to back it up. Granted, Styles has not had the most sparkling one-loss record over the last few months, but he has been tremendously improving. Could the combination of he and Cody, could teaming up with Cody O'Connor be what Steve Styles needs to really push his game up another notch? Could teaming up with Steve Styles be the compliment that Cody O'Connor's looking for? Ted?
I think these two guys teaming up is actually a mistake. Reason why is Cody spent so much time since the split with Jeremy Foster talking about how much greater he is as a singles wrestler, with all the momentum that he has built up as a singles competitor. Turning around and now reforming another tag team, I think that's an absolute mistake. As far as Steve Styles goes, I think that it is a tremendous mistake for him, because here's a guy who's just now establishing himself as a possible top contender for the GCW television title, and now he's distracting his plans to team up with Cody O'Connor for a match that, if they end up losing the match, more than likely we're not going to see these two as a team again. If they end up winning a match, they're putting all of what they've spent so long to try to get their own individual careers going for, that once they start going back on their individual career track, once they stop teaming together, all that momentum that they have built up as a singles competitor up to this point is washed away. So I think it's a huge mistake that these two guys are even teaming up to begin with.
See, therein lies the rub, because I really don't think it's a mistake, because anytime you have an opportunity to learn, it's a good thing. Because when I was active in competition, I'm still, to this day, before I got in this business, all my time in this business, and even after I leave this industry, I am a student of this business. I'm one who will go back, whether it be a single, whether it be a Australian rules tag match, whether it be a 6-man or any other specialty match. I always go back and watch what I do and how I do it, how I respond in different circumstances. I'm not going to sit back and criticize, at first, my tag team partner if a mistake is made. I look at every opportunity as an opportunity. I look at every match as a learning... Hello. What'd you do? Find the Martians?
I have no idea.
Yep.
What the heck? All right, that's what I get for having my phone plugged into the
plugged into the board.
No, my phone's plugged into monitor number 1, and it's set on vibrate anytime I get a message on Facebook. So that's probably what happened there.
God, if I did that, it would be a pinball machine going off.
Well, see, I'm not as popular as you. I'll admit it. So
I have 4 Twitter accounts that I monitor on a regular basis, and I just re-added the 4th one, and it shall remain nameless because that is my vent account. End of discussion.
I want that account.
Okay, I found the Martians. But no, seriously, if they approach it as an opportunity to learn, because High Definition was a very popular tag team and very successful to a great degree. Steve Styles can learn from this situation with Cody O'Connor. Cody O'Connor can learn from this situation with Steve Styles.
I don't think either of them have anything to teach the other one.
You really don't?
I really don't. I honestly don't. I don't think that now is the time that these guys to get involved in a tag team situation. I don't think that either of them are that spectacular that one's going to be able to learn that much from the other. I think they're both fine as individual competitors. I'm still waiting for them, I'm still waiting to see something that gives me reason to believe that they should be, immediately put in a championship chase. And I hope to God that they prove me wrong on the 30th of June in Pell City, Alabama.
Bell time 7:30 p.m. Tickets are only $10 a piece.
I'm glad you're a lot quicker on that than I am. And like I said, I hope they prove me wrong. I hope they show me something that makes me change my opinion. But for right now, my opinion stands is that I do not see. I don't see either of them learning anything from each other, and I don't see them being a benefit to each other at this point.
That's where I think we're going to have a differing opinion. And by the same token, and I'm going to give you a week to think about this, but on a knee-jerk reaction right now, Full Throttle, Trevor Eon, Joey Lightning versus Steve Styles and Cody O'Connor. Who do you see actually walking out of the victory, out of the match with a W?
I'm going to say Trevor Eon and Joey Lightning. Just simply because the team of Full Throttle has Trevor Eon on it. I have been trying for weeks to find something to just tear Trevor Eon down about, and I cannot. And I'm going to keep looking until I can finally do. But for the most part, here's a guy that went face-to-face with Micah Taylor. How many rookies would relish the opportunity to go face-to-face, nose-to-nose with Micah Taylor? Not many.
Okay.
And this kid's got some serious guts. And I'm not referring to the serious gut that's currently floating on the ample waistline of one Joey Lightning. I'm talking about actual... I'm talking about actual guts as far as being in the ring and wanting to compete with the best. Trevor Eon, yes. Joey Lightning, jury's still out on that one.
I have a world of respect for Joey Lightning.
That makes one of us.
Okay. Because Joey, in the short time that he's been in this business, has been through a lot, both in and out of the ring. By the way, I understand, believe that they've just recently had one, and I will say HFD to Joey Lightning as well. From that vantage point, see, that's one thing about GCW that I will put us head and shoulders above a lot, 98.73% of the promotions that are out there. And no, that was not a Kevin Nealon, Mr. Subliminal. But from that vantage point, although that was one of my favorite bits he ever did, for Joey Lightning to come back after everything that he's been through behind the scenes, and granted the injury didn't help. The timing was really bad on the injury, but injuries happen in this business. People will get hurt. And this is where I'm going to break out for a second, and pardon me in advance. Oh man, it's fake. It's all scripted. It's all did. I playing this stuff out doing but okay, you're speaking to somebody who's persevered through a concussion, a separated shoulder, a blown knee, a bad back, and various other things for this industry.
And we don't even want to get into the list of injuries that I've had training in the ring. I'm just coming off of one right now, too, and it's actually a little embarrassing how it happened, but I'm not going to talk about that.
Well, that's what you get for wrestling with the J.J. Tanner Pillow Pet.
And
we'll be back on GCW Radio right after this.
Charlie.
Hey, did you see that play last night?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and they still lost.
Sure.
You know, when I was playing, what we tried to...
You played in the street.
I played in the service. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is the kid, he should have...
Yeah, Hey, you okay?
I don't...
Someone call 911!
2 out of 3 people with diabetes die of a heart attack or stroke, but you can lower the risk. Ask your healthcare provider how. For more info, go to diabetesactnow.org. Brought to you by the American Diabetes Association and the Ad Council.
Hey parents, introducing the Communicizer. Go from boring old man speak,
I'm here if you want to talk,
to 100% off the chain.
Text me whenever, yo.
I love you, Dad.
Communicizer is not available in stores because it doesn't exist. But that's okay. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Because kids in foster care don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, go to adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Emily Richards for RAD, recording artists, actors, and athletes against drunk driving. One person's negligence shattered my life in a single instant. You see, my little sister Annie was killed by a drunk driver. Please, remember those you love. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
My name is Mary Crafts, and this is how I live united. I spent the last 24 years serving others in my catering company, but I felt that a huge part of our community was still being underserved. Those invisible children and young families. With United Way, I advocate for them any way I can. As a volunteer, I go into people's homes and assess mother and infant well-being and help bring change and opportunity into their lives. Nothing feels as good as helping, so I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Drew Brees, NFL quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, here with Bugs Bunny to remind you to get moving every day.
Because when you get moving an hour a day,
you fuel your body and your mind.
So what do you like to throw around the football like Drew?
Skateboard, ride a bike, or dance in your room.
Just move it your way.
And be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day, Doc. Check out how to be a player at letsmove.gov.
Head online to get tips on great ways to get moving every day.
At letsmove.gov. A message from the Ad Council and HHS.
As a mother, I'm making it a point to get the H1N1 flu vaccine for my children. You see, children are especially vulnerable to serious complications from the H1N1 flu, which could lead to hospitalization and even death. That's why I'm urging parents to get their children vaccinated. Vaccination is safe and is the most effective way to prevent the flu. Get the facts at flu.gov. Together, we can all fight the flu.
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Eric Darnell.
This is David Reagan.
Jamie McMurray.
This is Carl Edwards here for RAD,
the entertainment industry's voice for road safety.
Want to make a difference? It's simple. Be responsible.
Plan ahead. Designate before you celebrate.
Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Open the night with Lady Annabella and Darius Rucker. This is not my bad comeback song. June 21st at Oak Mountain Amphitheater.
Just a kiss on your lips in the moonlight.
Lady Annabella, Open the Night 2012 World Tour.
Baby, you're the only one I run to.
Lady Annabella Live.
I run to you.
And Darius Rucker.
It won't be like this for long.
Plus special guest, Thompson Square.
You gonna kiss me all night.
June 21st at Oak Mountain Amphitheater. Get reserved seats now at livenation.com or charge by phone.
Hey, I'm just looking for.
Don't miss Lady Annabella and Darius Rucker with special guest Thompson Square. Sponsored by GAC. Buy tickets at livenation.com.
The summertime keeps heating up, and we'll turn up the heat that much more. This is Global Championship Wrestling's GCW Radio. Sunday night, 3 minutes before the top of the hour. Fast Eddie Lane live from behind this control panel.
It's Ed Guinness, the voice of reason, the reason that people tune in to listen to GCW Radio over in the Loud Noises studios. Yeah, and if you believe that,
you know,
I've got something to sell you. Hey, we're gonna do something we don't normally do at this time during the show. We're gonna open up the phone lines for you alls. Yeah, oh my God, I've been living in the South too long. I actually said y'all. For your venting pleasure here on GCW Radio, 205-316-9900 is the number. And for those of you that are hanging out with loud little girl and her bag phone, 205-316-9900. Make it easy for you.
And of course, all guests do appear courtesy of the BeyondRingside.com hotline this week. Your home for wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, Sunday night, 5:30 p.m. Central Time, Beyond Ringside. Check it out at BeyondRingside.com. Yep, opening up the phone lines. Want to hear what you've got to say. Like I said, we've had a chance to cover a couple of matches that are going to be coming up on Saturday night, June the 30th in Pell City, Alabama.
And I want to go ahead and throw this out there, too, as a possible topic if you want to call in and throw out your opinions on this. Fantasy booking in GCW. Which matches would you like to see? What is the GCW family actually looking forward to seeing? Matches that you haven't seen before? Matches that you've seen maybe once and would like to see again? 205-316-9900 is the number. Call on in.
You got it. You're making a reference to matches we'd like to see before or see again, and I would like to see something that Remy brought up in the chat room a little while ago. We're talking about tag teams, and number one, I would like to see a return of Fistful of Dollars. Rastus Polk, the Outlaw, and the Cock of the Walk of Charleston, Theodore Tutwiler III. Very, very good, solid tag team. This is Theodore Tutwiler III has a Midas touch when it comes to tag team wrestling, because he has worked with a number of different partners over the years and has had great success. Now, granted, having the Tutwiler fortune behind him to, get some of the best training facilities hasn't hurt. But by the same token, you also have to have that killer instinct for this business. You have to have the hunger for this business. And another tag team that I would love to see one more time, and I would be, I've known both gentlemen for a long time, and I use that term loosely. And this is long before your tenure with the Underground and GCW, and that would be the Night Prowler and the Machine Guff Grayson. Two bigger men with even bigger attitudes, and Grayson, I could say his ego was bigger than his attitude, but his talent exceeded his ego. And Night Prowler is probably... Now, another one also, I've seen Night Prowler and Mudbone team up before. And these guys are vicious. Guff Grayson, really kind of hard to put into words. His ethic for this business. Because whether you were friend or foe, you were a target at one point in time. Guff Grayson had loyalties inside the ring to himself. If I were to speak as him in first person, yes, I have a lot of friends, and I have a lot of people to whom I'm loyal. Me, myself, and I is exactly how he would put it. Because, and the same thing I think can be said for the Night Prowler with zero hesitation whatsoever. Because the Night Prowler was an absolute beast in the ring, but also had a world of respect for tag team wrestling. Because I've seen him knock out tag team partners after winning. And he picks them back up and goes, there you go. It's kind of like watching Thor and Hulk from the Avengers movie. That's about the best way I can say it. And I would still go back and watch that movie for a sixth time if it's still in the theater and close to me.
I have a bootleg copy. Is that out loud?
Yeah, well, you are in the Out Loud Noises studio. There you go.
Oh, that's true.
And your loud noises just outed you. And, I would really love to see somebody put together a movie based on pro wrestling that doesn't just make us look like a bunch of imbeciles. And that would be Ted's board.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with my studio tonight.
Maybe your microphone.
No, I think it's the audio feed into monitor number 2. I actually had a great clip I was going to play for you, and it just didn't work. So
there you go. I've watched all the different movies that have come down the pike, and I've just, for some reason, I just feel that they're just extraordinarily canned, formulaic, and predictable. Ted?
I've seen 2. I've seen, I don't even remember what the first one's called, but it had Roddy Piper and Fat 2, I think it was.
Okay.
As a tag team. And then, of course, I saw The Wrestler, which I thought was actually a very good movie.
I thought it was good, but I thought it was okay, borderline good, but I didn't think the wrestler was all that.
I won't necessarily say it was a great wrestling movie as far as showcasing what the sport is. As far and I mean, I've seen some guys, I've run across quite a few guys that remind me a lot of Mickey Rourke's character in that movie,
Ric Flair.
And not to throw anyone out there, but I will. The one that really jumps out to mind when I saw the movie was Tommy Wildfire Rich.
Okay.
And, I ran into Tommy Rich a couple of times up in Rome, Georgia, and once in Cedartown. And, if you had to compare, kind of what Tommy Rich and Randy the Ram were going through at their stages of their career, there are a lot of parallels. Yeah. I'm not going to say what those parallels were, but I saw a lot of parallels between the character Randy the Ram and Tommy Wildfire Rich.
Okay. Honestly, I don't remember enough about the movie to qualify and come back.
Oh, we'll see. Why don't you go rent the movie and we'll pick up this discussion next week. The Sean Ross says, Isis the Amazon versus Tracy Taylor. I've seen that match.
I've seen that match.
It is not a match you want to see ever again. Isis is horrible.
I guess you caught Isis on a bad night, because there was a night in Calera, Alabama, where Isis and Tracy went at it. And I believe they've done it a couple other times in a couple other cities under the GCW banner. But the night in Calera, actually, Isis was spot on, Tracy was spot on, and they turned out a great match. They worked to each other's strengths. They, and hold on one second. Ah, there he is. Man, almost right on schedule. You missed it by 5 minutes. But honestly, on that particular night down in Calera, Tracy and Isis put together a great match. It was fun to watch. Now, I'm not, and there's no hiding the fact. The fact that I respect Tracy Taylor goes beyond the GCW and Underground thing. And one of these days, I'm going to pay off the boss to be the person who referees the ladies' match, because I would like for once to be the luckiest man in fill-in-the-blank city. And speaking of one of the luckiest men in any fill-in-the-blank city, ladies and gentlemen, tag team partner O'Hagan, welcome to the family.
Hello.
Hello, O'Hagan.
I trust you've had a great week.
Yes, I've had a fantastic week. Got the itch to get in the ring though. It's been a while, so.
Well, unfortunately for us, it's going to be 2 more weeks down the road, because our next event, of course, live event, is going to be Saturday night, June the 30th, in Pell City, Alabama, at the Pell City Civic Center.
Tickets, $10. See, we're trying to do that in unison.
There you go.
I didn't know if O'Hagan was going to pick up on it, so I figured I would just jump into my line.
And let me spin around to 4 real quick, because now that you are here, one of the matches that's going to be featured Saturday night, June 30th in Pell City. O'Hagan, you will be taking on a gentleman that is a brand new face to Global Championship Wrestling. The gentleman comes from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Tommy Gage will be going one-on-one. I never know if you're serious when you say that.
I agree with that. Joke where you told me that they got Steven Styles as the wrestler. Is this one of those jokes?
No. Okay. Very talented young man coming all the way in from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Tommy Gage is scheduled to be your opponent on the 30th in Pell City.
Okay. Hold on, let me worry about that for a second. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, you sound thrilled.
You sound extremely concerned, Buford T. Justice.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me get all professional real quick. Tommy Gage on the 30th in Pell City, Alabama. You're going to find out why I'm one of the best wrestlers on the planet when I beat you in one of many different ways, like pinning or submission.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Someone get a soundboard. Oh.
I I was saving that one just for you, O'Hagan.
Oh, look at you! You got a new toy. No.
I get to play too.
Did you get that for Daddy Day?
No, I had that last week. That was what I was piping loud noises through.
Yeah, I got plenty of gifts today, brother. Just so you guys know.
Well, happy Father's Day to you too.
Yeah, back at it again.
Yep. All right, now that all the mush is done, Tommy Gage, O'Hagan. What else? What else do we got on tap for the 30th?
Well, wait, real quick. Who's Tommy Gage?
I don't know.
I
was trying to look him up on Google, and it said Chuck Norris not found. I don't know.
Good one. Actually, the boss just got in touch with me just before we went on the air tonight, so I imagine, I don't know if he's had a chance to get with you, but guess what? Surprise!
Yes?
O'Hagan?
Surprise what?
Okay. I just thought, like I said, I wanted to share that little piece of information and see if you've had a chance to do it, if you knew anything about Tommy Gage.
No. If I knew anything about him, I wouldn't think that you were trying to trick me. Oh, yeah, you're wrestling Mike the Mailman. Oh, he's going to give me a special delivery. Tommy Gage, he's well known in the Chattanooga scene, I'm assuming.
I assume so. And for the record, let me go ahead and come into the chat room real quick, guys. Unfortunately, the bit that Ted played was not a Smokey and the Bandit reference, although it really sounded like it should have been.
That was from Billy Madison.
Okay, because I'm actually the quote machine from Smokey and the Bandit 1 and 2. So as much as I'm appreciating, hold up on that car wash, gentlemen. You can think.
Did you just say you're the quote man from Smokey and the Bandit 1 and 2?
I am the quote maestro from Smokey and the Bandit 1 and 2. If there's a line that happened in those movies, I remember it.
And you're proud of this.
Smokey and the Bandit. It's one of the best feel-good fun movies ever made. It will never be up for Best Picture. It may never get a Hall of Fame entry or a Hall of Shame entry, but by God, it was a fun movie to watch, and it still is.
That's like saying, I'm the tallest midget in the state.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, but you're still a midget. No offense if we have any midgets listening. I've got a lot of midget friends.
And if Loud Little Girl were listening, she, of course, would call you one of the taller leprechauns that she knows, except for O'Malley.
No, I'm not. I'll tell you off air, but I know there was a man in wrestling history who I honestly believed was the world's big show of midget wrestling, and he made it to the main event, many big time events. But if you look at him, if you go back and watch tape, you're like, this is the biggest midget ever.
Okay.
I can't say his name because apparently it's being erased from history.
I think I know who you're talking about when you put that little clue out there, too.
Yeah.
That's sad. It really is.
Yeah, but if you look at him in retrospect, you're like, that was one big midget.
Well, wasn't he part of a faction referred to as the Vanilla Midgets?
See, now you're just making stuff up.
No, that's what a lot of people called that certain faction.
I think you're just making stuff up now.
I'm not making.
Give me 2 quotes from Smoking the Bandit right now. I'll have it. Ready to go.
Let me see. Do the letters?
And you can't use the chat room either because there are.
I'm not even looking at the chat room right now. Number 1, as quoted from Jerry Reed to Burt Reynolds' characters as they're approaching the fairgrounds. Well, why don't you just move over and let's introduce him to the boy? Better get out of the way because the snowman is coming through. From that vantage point. Let's see.
Dude, you got to start collecting stamps or coins or something. I'm going to tell you should really get out of the house.
I do get out of the house. It's called work.
I go to the matinee and watch Smokey and the Bandit at the Dollar Theater every day.
No, I have the DVD set here at the house, and I still haven't made it more than 15 minutes into Smokey and the Bandit 3 without projectile vomiting.
I will never play a drinking game with you during Smokey and the Bandit. Every time you can say a quote from the movie, the other person's going to drink.
Oh, you'd be drunk in 5 seconds flat, dude.
Yeah, but on the same vantage point, you don't ever want to play a game like that with me when it comes to Big Trouble in Little China.
And for the record, the second one would have been, give me a Diablo burger and a Dr. Pepper and make it fast. I'm in a blank hurry. So there, end of discussion.
All right. What other amazing matches do we have in the circuit out in Pell City, Alabama?
Now, actually, Ted and I were having a discussion about a tag team match that's coming up as a special challenge match, and I'd like to get your input on it. Full Throttle, the combination of Trevor Eon and Joey Lightning, will be taking on the newly formed combination of Sensational Steve Styles and Cody O'Connor. I'd like to get your input.
On a purely physical basis, Full Throttle might be more athletic. It's just a proven medical fact. Just saying that out there. Jimmy the Greek already stated all the facts. So
there you go.
I don't go into that.
I knew you were going there.
What?
I knew that's what...
The man makes a very educated comment, and he gets in trouble for it. So I'll just say Jimmy the Greek, and then I'll leave the quote at that. Anyway, so I'm going to flex that one. So it's Full Throttle versus Cody O'Connor and that other dude. Whatever his name is.
Sensational Steve Styles.
Whatever. The dude who can do a drop kick. I got you.
Goggle Boy.
You're not an X-Men. I'm just saying.
Good one.
He's trying. He's trying.
Yeah. Yeah. He's going to use Charles Xavier's first initial instead. Oh, I hope someone got that one. That's awesome.
There you go. Continue.
Oh, God, that's awesome.
Recover.
Anyway,
damn it. 205-316-9900.
Address all complaint letters to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C., because you'll get the same reaction from them.
I'm sure you get some complaints from that address, too, on the Jimmy the Greek comment.
Anyway. No kidding.
Cody O'Connor's got some, he's got good tag team background. He's been in some good tag team matches against, upper talent that's really kind of helped him out with as far as his tag team abilities. Trevor Aon, not so much tag team action. Joey Lightning, I believe a former tag team champion in multiple federations across Alabama. So he has shown that he can step up his game as far as tag team wrestling goes. So both teams have an experienced tag team partner and one who's not used to, relying on someone or sharing the burden of the match. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes because both teams not very familiar with each other. So I'm assuming there's going to be a little bit of confusion on both ends. But I mean, the few times that Aeon and Lightning have teamed, they seem to be meshing well together. So,
by the way,
and that's also if Cody makes it to his match. I understand he's got some big arm wrestling competition up coming against Lincoln Hawk or something.
Yeah, we actually we're trying to make arrangements for Cody to call into the show tonight and get his perspective, but unfortunately we were not actually able to get him on the show this evening. I know Ted told me he was working on it, and we thought for a minute that Cody would, take us up on the opportunity. And
he wussed out. He wussed out. Here's the whole timeline. He decided to jump in. I was doing some fantasy booking on Facebook. And he decided that he was going to throw him on the same level of the four gentlemen that I said I would like to see in a tag team match. I verbally smashed him. Hot Ice witnessed it. And ever since then, he just, no, I don't want to go on the radio because all you're going to do is bash me. I want to go on cause and effect. So. That's all I have to say.
Would that have been a shameless plug for Cause just then?
Yeah, Cause, you owe me $25.
There you go. Which is it?
Or I'll take a Subway sandwich, either or.
Hey, good idea. Volcano Sushi from Taipei 101. From that vantage point. Now, a match that I know that you'll be watching because you have direct you have actually O'Hagan. have a vested interest in both parties, so to speak, because you've had a long-time alliance with one and some classic moments, instant classics with the other. Shane Fox will be taking on the Psycho Circus in Pell City, Alabama. I'll go to O'Hagan first.
That's going to be interesting. I know Fox can go. I know he can. He's back in. He's got a couple matches back under his belt. He's knocking the rust off. And I know because I was there when that man was being trained. I was there helping him to mold what he is today. And me and him won tag team gold on several occasions. And the guy is athletic. And he is one of the guys that when me and him were tagging, he was jumping around and running around and has great cardio, and he was keeping up with me, and we made some pretty good moments as a tag team. And I was glad to see him back, and he's doing his thing. And Circus, big, strong guy. I admit he kind of knocked the tar out of me for about 15 minutes in Jasper, Alabama. I mean, I came out, the victor. But I think Shane, I think he can pull off the same thing. He's skilled, he's quick, he's athletic, he's back, and he's got a hunger that he hasn't had in a while. And I don't know, I think Fox could possibly pull it out if he just keeps his head about him and just, has a good chin, because he's going to get punched a lot. So you get it.
Now I'm thinking about 6 different things. Now, if I put you on the spot for an instant prediction, who do you think would go? Who do you think is going to be the victor in that match? Showtime Shane Fox or Psycho Circus?
Me?
You.
Fox.
Okay, Ted Guinness, your analysis.
Anytime anyone loses to O'Hagan, their next match they tend to come back and want it to be a little bit strong. They want to come back and be a lot stronger than they were in that last match, and that's not a knock against anyone. That's actually a compliment more toward O'Hagan, because either he really ticks a lot of people off when he beats them, or he's at a certain level that he's just that good. Circus losing to O'Hagan and Jasper, I think he's got a huge chip on his shoulder, and I think pretty much we're going to see a Fox and Hound type match where, no pun intended, Shane Fox is going to be running around the ring. Circus is going to try to catch him, but eventually Circus will, and he's going to make him pay, and he's going to do everything that he possibly can do to avenge that loss against O'Hagan and Jasper. I got Circus winning easily in this one, 4 minutes, 37 seconds.
And I'm looking at the chat room right now, and Remy, Bree, Kaz, all going Creepy, all going with Circus. From that vantage point. Now, Ted, you were making a reference to fantasy booking.
Yes.
Go ahead and... O'Hagan, I want to get your philosophy on this real quick. Now, granted, it's easier for us to figure who we would want to... who would be a good matchup to go up against. But if you had to label 3 people right now, whether or not you faced them before, if you have, that's great. If you have not, that's great. Out of the people that you've seen come through the door over the last few months, you can book your own match. Who would the top 3 be?
Micah Taylor.
1.
Probably my number 1 pick. Number 2, just throwing out there because I don't think I've ever been in the ring with this guy, and I'd like to just see what he's got. Trevor Aon. I'd like to get in the ring with him. And another one that's come through, you know what? I'd like to get in the ring with Luke Gallows.
Now, granted, he hasn't been in the a GCW ring in quite a while. Which,
yeah, I know.
I'm really surprised you didn't say Matt Bentley.
I'm not really worried about him.
No, because he's made recent appearances, and of course, being a former 2-time X Division champion, I think that would be a solid matchup, and the fans would definitely be the winner in that circumstance.
Man, he could take that to the store with like $1 and get some gum.
I'd buy that for $1.
Jack Benny.
Just to let you know, just to give you a reference on that one, former WWE and GCW superstar Seth Skyfire is currently making the suit for the new RoboCop movie that will be coming out.
Very nice.
They are making a complete remake of the original RoboCop, and Seth Skyfire is making that. Of course, he's also casting Robert Downey Jr.'s armor for Iron Man 3 as we speak.
Nice.
Sorry, just throwing in that little shameless plug. Here's for $25.
And the comment was made in the chat room just now by Kaz, quote unquote, the best in the world fears O'Hagan.
Oh, he does.
And that was actually part of the fantasy booking thing. I'm going to throw it out there. I actually said, and I would, there's not much right now that I would actually plop down money for and buy a ringside ticket or buy a ticket. Thankfully, I don't have to put GCW in that category because I have the honor of being able to call the matches. But in a perfect scenario where just a random show was thrown together, if it was Best in the World versus Best in the World and O'Hagan tagging up against Spiral and Yes Boy, I would pay to see that match. Because I think you can take two of the top wrestlers in the world right now, based on the company that they happen to work for, taking on two of the, and I would say put PW Insider #1 and #2 on opposite sides, and I think that match would tear down any house, any arena, in any country.
Okay.
See, I know that as much as he likes to brag, I know I could take the best in the world. I know this because, again, I'll say his name again, Seth Skyfire, man who has been tag team champion with the so-called best in the world, the man that has wrestled him on many occasions, the man who beat him on several occasions, who's wrestled people from certain companies and from other companies, who's been up to Philly and wrestled for a certain company up there, who's now in Baltimore. He's wrestled for all these companies, doing work with them, and he gave me his top 5 list of best in the world that he has got to work with. And the best in the world's name was on there, but let's just say mine was a little bit higher. So when I take someone's comparison like that, who's wrestled the best in the world, and I get marked up there with them, I think there's only one name that was higher than mine, and he doesn't wrestle anymore. But I'll agree, he's probably the greatest wrestling mind that they had, and they squandered him. You want to know who the name is?
Sure.
Joey Mercury.
Okay.
I could see that match.
Joey Mercury was listed as probably the best wrestling mind ever. And this is from Seth Skyfire. This is a guy that, when me and him got in the ring, like, things happened. We had a match in Locust Fort for the GCW heavyweight title, and we went like almost 30 minutes, and the crowd went nuts. And it was probably one of the greatest matches I've ever had, if not the best match I've ever had. And this guy is amazing, and for his input, he says, Joe Mercury, ridiculous. Of course, I met the guy too. He's awesome. So,
I made the reference a little while ago on previous occasions, not a little while ago, but on previous occasions. I would personally love to see Seth Skyfire back in the ring.
Yeah. Oh, I would too.
Long time
I've been trying to get him back. We got a GCW. If you missed it, you missed it, because I don't think it ever got shown. Alabama Theater, 8-man tag match, saw Seth Skyfire come out of retirement for one night to put on a hell of a match. I believe it was, at the time, it was Mad Dog Dan Sawyer Equalizer, Mudbone, and O'Hagan versus it was the Inhuman Fly, TT3, Seth Skyfire, and I'm trying to remember who else was in that match. I can't remember who else was in that match. Oh well.
Yeah, I really wish I could have been at the Alabama Theater show. Unfortunately, that was on a Friday night, and y'all know that I work 2 jobs on Friday, so it would have been impossible for me to be there.
Well, you missed it. Guess what? You missed it. That's why you should always go to live events for GCW.
There you go.
And for everyone in the chat room who's actually saying they want to see Rob Russo, why? Why?
There's some things in this world we should never mention.
Yeah, I'm leaving the other thing alone, the special challenge match
Don't
with Tracy
touch it.
Taylor. I'm leaving that one alone.
Thank God. O'Hagan, don't ask. We'll talk off air. Matter of fact,
you don't
want to know. But we do have to...
Girl challenging Tracy, they're in trouble. Whatever I feel about the underground, Tracy, if she's taking on a girl, I'm probably picking Tracy 99.9% of the time.
O'Hagan, it's not a girl.
No.
I can't say it. Oh, fine.
And we'll be back on...
God.
I'm going to have nightmares now.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
The biggest bands in rock, the wildest stage shows on earth, the biggest live event of the summer.
Everybody's gonna move their feet.
Kiss and Motley Crue. The Tour 2012. It doesn't get any better than this. July 31st, Oak Mountain Amphitheater. 2 iconic bands, 1 historic tour. Kiss, Motley Crue. July 31st, Oak Mountain Amphitheater. Reserve seats are on sale now. Buy tickets at livenation.com or charge by phone at 800-745-3000. Kiss and Motley Crue. Buy tickets at livenation.com.
Hi, I'm Drew Brees, NFL quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, here with Bugs Bunny to remind you to get moving every day.
Because when you get moving an hour a day,
you fuel your body and your mind.
So what do you like to throw around the football like Drew?
Skateboard, ride a bike, or dance in your room.
Just move it your way.
And be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day, Doc. Check out how to be a player at letsmove.gov.
Head online to get tips on great ways to get moving every day.
At letsmove.gov. A message from the Ad Council and HHS.
Confessions of a Potentially Perfect Parent, brought to you by AdoptUsKids.org.
I know more about cooking dinner for a party of 12 than about packing a lunch for a 12-year-old. I know kids like things like fish sticks. Fillets, I get, but sticks? Maybe we can just compromise on mac and cheese. Can you make that with Brie?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you. Call 1-888-200-4005 or visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
Foreclosure is hard on every member of the family, but your family is not alone. If you're struggling with your mortgage, there is help. To learn about the government's Making Home Affordable program, visit makinghomeaffordable.gov or call 1-888-995-HOPE to speak to a HUD-approved housing counselor. It's free of charge. Visit makinghomeaffordable.gov or call 1-888-995-HOPE today. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, NeighborWorks America, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Joe Elliott from Def Leppard for Rad. Planning on going out and having a party? Great, have a lot of fun. But do me a big favour and don't blow it. Always choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives. You should too.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Hello, this is Robin Zander.
Hello, this is Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick for RAD.
Some people think it's fun to drive drunk, but that's unacceptable.
Be smart. If you drink,
don't drive.
Think ahead and choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives, and so should you.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Citizens of America, this is a message from feedthepig.org. Americans spent more money than they earned in 2005. This is the first negative savings rate in the U.S. since the Great Depression. America, we must start feeding the pig. On the 1st and the 15th, we must pay ourselves before we pay anyone or anything. We must make a budget. Even consider cutting up a credit card. Log on to feedthepig.org today. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
The music plays, the microphones go hot, and we are back live on a Sunday night, 26 before the top of the hour. Welcome back into GCW Radio. Yours truly, Fast Eddie Lane behind the control panel. Welcoming back in, Ted Guinness.
I'm back.
Welcoming back in, O. Hagen.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, the person who uses that word more often than not, unfortunately, can't reach the depth on the pitch PITCH level that you just hit on that particular soundbite.
Oh, I thought you were talking about El Professor. Which, by the way...
That was funny.
Who put that on the air?
That was funny.
That was hilarious, but I thought that was going to be a
nope.
one of those blooper reel things.
Nope.
How is Marcy Darcy?
She's old, fat, and eating me out of house and home.
It could be worse. It could be Arizona. Flat and dry. However...
Whoa! And I'd like to thank Fast Eddie Lane for upping the ratings from PG-13 to TVMA.
For all complaints, please address your letters. Go ahead, Eddie, give me the address.
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C., because they give as much of a hoo-hoo as I do. From that vantage point...
You know, you keep saying that, and we're going to get a call one day. We're getting a lot of complaint emails.
Thank God.
Complaint mails.
Fast Eddie Lane, I just want to say, I don't appreciate you giving out my address.
Blah, 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 blah. Put it on your BlackBerry, boss.
Apparently, we got Don Rickles co-hosting tonight. He got jokes. He's funny.
No, geographically speaking, Arizona is flat and dry. Isn't it? Yes, it is. All right. Old friend, lightning leak.
It's a dry heat.
It's a dry. No, it's not the heat. It's the humidity. Thank you, Los Angeles. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Phone line's still open.
Back at the Hall of Justice.
Yeah, phone line's still open. 205-316-9900.
As we are now in the home run round here on GCW Radio. First off, O'Hagan, I know that you've been doing the family thing all day, so I know you have got to be exhausted, so I'm going to toss it your way, sir.
Yep, because in case the world didn't know, I'm filling the world with O'Hagans just to make it a better place. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to GCW Radio with Fast Eddie Lane, Ted Guinness, and of course yours truly, Mr. O'Hagan. You can follow me on Twitter at O'HaganGCW, run it all together. You can find me on Facebook. Just look for Joshua O'Hagan. If you don't know that, look through the friends list of the GCW Facebook page, which Eddie will gladly give you in just a few moments. Just hit add friend. I will probably accept you 99% of the time. If I don't add you, it's probably because I don't want to add you. I want to thank everybody for coming out to the shows. Make sure to come down to Pell City on the 30th to watch me beat up some guy that we don't know. But it'll still be fun because I'm there, and that makes it that much better. I want to give a shout-out to the Cause and Effect because, well, they make me laugh when I'm not in the ring. I want to give a shout-out to all the people that come to the live events because without you, well, there'd be a lot of empty seats. And I want to thank Eddie Lane and Ted Guinness for keeping you guys busy until the true guy got on the radio and made you all smile and laugh. And just because I have to do it every time, Sandusky.
And soon we'll be performing with the Alabama Symphony Orchestra as a featured tenor.
Doom 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 doom. Mr. Sandusky, ow! Give me a scholarship. Doom 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 doom.
Say goodnight.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only. Thank God.
Yes, and I just tweeted on Loud Noises Inc. Best part of the show, O'Hagan GCW is leaving the show.
I keep forgetting I've got the Ustream feed open, which gives me the direct line to Twitter. I could have been updating the entire night, which sometimes I'll do directly from the Android. But it's been a weird show. I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. Like I said, we're going to be announcing the full card on GCW Pro as well as Facebook, which, by the way, for the record, there is a Facebook friend page and Facebook fan page for those of you who do not know. Facebook.com/GCWPro is the friends page. Facebook.com/GCWProWrestling is the fan page. Like us, friend us, and follow us on Twitter at GCWProWrestling. One word, run it all together. Now, this is something that I'm really surprised O'Hagan didn't reference. Because...
well, we know it's not Sandusky.
Oh, God. You know that's also a city in this state?
Yes, when are we going to get booked in Sandusky, Alabama? Because O'Hagan would have a field day with that.
We really don't want to discuss that on air.
Oh, sure we do.
Oh, no, we don't. Luthi...
205-316-9900 if you want to chime in.
I'm going to get shot.
Yes, you are.
You said it. I didn't. I plead innocent.
I am just bringing what the masses want. The masses want a GCW event.
No. You obviously haven't seen the other fan page. However, from that vantage point, knowing you probably have, and you're doing it just to chide me.
No, actually, I left the other fan page because I got tired of them trying to put themselves over how much better they are than GCW.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we'll talk off air about that. And I think the entire chat room's caught the gimmick from this vantage point, and I'm not even. That's the last I'll discuss of it on air. So, from that vantage point, the thing that I'm really surprised that O'Hagan didn't mention, and this is the first thing that I thought of, when you've got someone on the roster who is a pure veteran in professional wrestling and has tenure with a specific company, when you want to build your reputation and establish your name, what do? You go straight after one of the people who has been there the longest. You go right after one of the people that is respected under that company banner. So if I'm O'Hagan, which I'm not, thank God, I won't get us sued by the FCC 16 times in 5 minutes, I'm going to look at it from the vantage point of Tommy Gage has the target set on O'Hagan to build his name and reputation, and start his reputation, I should say, in GCW. Because O'Hagan is, I'll say the same thing behind his back that I say to his face. Tremendously talented individual. Yeah.
I will agree with that.
He is arrogant. Yes. He is a pain in the gazoo when it comes to contract negotiations.
I will agree with that as well.
He's the only person I know that wants the oversized green M&Ms and every other color has to be smaller.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Trust me. I've had to work with him on contract negotiations for stuff in his dressing room. So, you really don't want me to...
Again, I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
You thought David Lee Roth was a rock star? Come on. David Lee Roth just has a thing against brown M&Ms. Go figure. That's the color of chocolate. However, is he tremendously talented? Yes. Is he arrogant? Yes. Is he occasionally full of himself?
Yes.
No, he's always full of himself.
Yeah, I was going to say occasionally.
Surprised you walked into that one, Ted.
If he wasn't occasionally full of himself, he'd be twice the size he is now.
And Tommy Gage has picked probably one of the right people to make that splash into GCW.
Too bad nobody knows who he is.
I got a little bit of insight, and I'm going to bring that out next week here on the show.
All right. Well, if you find the link, Google link to his account, so I can actually find out about him, pass that along.
Okay, will do. Once again, Bree's afraid of getting blocked. No, cause Amos is not. Okay, please, and we won't mention that word anymore if we don't have to. However, meanwhile, back at the ranch, and Loud Noises Inc. blocks no one, but Ted will block you on Twitter if you piss him off.
That's right.
There you go. No, God, that name just popped up in the chat room again, and I'm having nightmares while awake. I don't know
why.
Whoever
God, I don't know if I should say this. I might have to save this for our last break, Eddie. But I just had a great idea for a great match involving someone that we don't want to mention, but has been popping up in the chat room.
Okay.
It would be, let's just put it this way, as it would be the female equivalent of the Natural Disasters.
I'm afraid.
Karma and Francis Hood teaming up together.
And no, the Rice Krispies were not good the second time. Snap, crackling. God.
Who could beat them?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Tracy would have to find one heck of a partner.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Oh, hey, we have ISIS.
There's something I really want to say right there, and I'm not going to. I'm being the kinder, gentler Eddie right now, and I'm just going to leave it alone. If it was the ISIS from the era of down at the Calera show at the Elks Lodge, I would be okay with that concept. But over the last calendar 12, I don't think I could endorse that matchup.
I'm just saying.
I know. You're not saying, you're just saying, right?
Exactly.
And as Kaz stole my line, thanks for playing. And now, back to the countdown. Ted Francis is going to kill you.
Tell me something I don't know.
There you go. There are other matches that are going to be involved in the Saturday night, June 30th show in Pell City, Alabama. Let's go and run down the card real quick, and I'll give everybody time to think about it, because we're going to do the full pre-cap and handicapping next Sunday night, 9 p.m., right here on GCW Radio. As mentioned earlier, Tag Team Challenge match, Full Throttle. Trevor Eon and Joey Lightning will be taking on the combination of Steve Styles and Cody O'Connor. Xander Stone, one-on-one action against Jeremy Foster. The King, Shane Williams, makes his return to Pell City, Alabama. And speaking of returns, ladies and gentlemen, making his return to a GCW ring after quite an absence, glad to have him back. Pure Country, Chris Silvers will be back with Global Championship Wrestling Saturday night, June 30th in Pell City, Alabama. That is going to be a great match. We talked about it a minute ago. Showtime's Shane Fox joins us in Pell City and will be challenging the Psycho Circus. That is going to be one to definitely keep your eyes on. Mr. O'Hagan will be taking on Tommy Gage, newcomer to GCW, coming to us out of the Chattanooga area. A match that we have not mentioned until just now. Cousin Redneck, Amos Moses.
Oh, God.
From Boone County, West Virginia.
Is he being forced to shower before he comes this time?
I hold no responsibility for anything that occurs before or after. Yes, Silvers is back.
You are the commissioner, and there as such, you need to enforce the no stinky rule.
No Rhecasaurus, man.
No Rhecasaurus. And don't make me have to call the hazmat crews out there, because every time Amos Moses raises his armpits, a puppy dies.
Amos Moses will be taking on Otto von Gruber, one half of the GCW World Tag.
Again? How many times have we seen this match?
And they've had a very good series.
Yes, but again, Gruber rides with me. I do not want to have to disinfect my car again. And if I do, I'm sending you the bill, Eddie. I'm making you personally responsible, because the last time Gruber got in my car after wrestling Amos Moses, the stench was so bad, it took 5 trips through the detailer shop just to get the smell out.
Then tell you what, and Bree, thank you for the name drop, and I'm going to take that one step further. Tell you what, if this is a major issue, then I have an idea. I'm going to nominate you, Ted Guinness.
Oh, God.
To be the one to sit down and teach grammar and punctuation to Loud Little Girl.
I don't think Stephen Hawking could teach grammar and punctuation to Loud Little Girl. And he talks on a computer.
Yes, we know.
So what am I going to be able to do to teach the graduate of the 3rd grade trailer learning school?
That'd be the Double Wide Academy.
That is right.
Thank you.
There is no possible way to teach that individual grammar, punctuation, or any other valuable skill known to man.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of you teaching proper enunciation skills as well.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Hey, Mama, I learned Ebonics. You didn't see that one coming.
Wow. I'm glad. You know what, Eddie? We have a favorite thing that we like to throw around the underground every so often, and that's called the Heat Magnet of the Week. And you have just taken it off of every member of the underground. Congratulations, you are Heat Magnet of the Week.
Hey, Mama, I speak redneck.
See, that's appropriate because it's true.
Okay, and you're coming about the double. See, I made your Trailer Park Learning Center thing actually comedic by calling it Double Wide Academy.
But it's actually true.
Okay, then. And the funniest thing in the world would be actually trying. It's like watching the movie Airplane and the older woman saying, "It's okay, I speak jive." You tell me that was politically correct for the time?
They weren't living in a politically correct society, Eddie. They weren't living in an era of the internet. They were living in an era of slapstick comedy where people could offend other people and other people would laugh about it.
Who am I going to offend by saying, "Hey, Mama, I learned Ebonics"? Who am I going to offend?
We'll talk about that off the air.
Okay. Oh, great. I just got booted from the chat room, and it's my chat room.
Maybe that's a sign that you should stop talking about that.
I would have let it go a long time ago, but you brought it back up.
I claim no responsibility for anything said on this show ever.
I mean, it's like Luciano Pavarotti doing doing Eastbound and Down for Smokey and the Bandit. Guess what? That's something you just don't really care to think about because it's never going to happen. And
actually, that'd be kind of funny.
That'd be funny as hell.
Yes, it would.
But by the same token, I'm going to sit back and say this. I'm a nice guy by choice. I am a smart aleck by profession. I've been a DJ for over 25 years. I've been a smartin' all my life. And comments like that are not meant to offend, but if you do get if somebody did get offended by it, I'd say go back through school, please.
See, that's just comes where I used to have a saying that said, I am an equal opportunity offender, no lines, no waitings, no appointment necessary.
Well, see, by the same token, I will also sit. Yeah, Spiral speaks Ebonics. Remy just said that beautifully in the chat room, and I'll agree to that 100%. But by the same token, let's break it down. Break it down. Okay. In this society, we are politically correct by choice. And I'm really just going to leave it at that.
I'm not.
And I'm just going to go ahead and say, well, I got 8 minutes before the top of the hour, and we're about to head for shameless plugs. I have made the comment before on a microphone, in public if you will. If I manage to offend anybody at any time for any reason, simply thank you for paying attention. That's been my phrase ever since the 80s, and I'm going to still live with it. But by the same token, Creepy's offended by the comment about little girl being a redneck. Okay. See, I got something right today.
Hey, Creepy's gimmick infringing. It's actually little girl well, wait, can you call a girl dressed as a guy in drag? Just wondering.
I don't know. We'll work on that. Okay, I've given that enough thought. And if you want politically correct, go to PBS, okay? Plain and simple. Also, June 30th, Pell City, Alabama. The television championship will be on the line. And this is a match that I'm looking forward to. The Inhuman Fly, the one-man swarm, will be taking on another returning face to Global Championship Wrestling. Fans who made it out to the Oak Mountain Spring Fling show, you saw him on one particular night. The Super Shinobi will return to Global Championship Wrestling. And he'll be taking on the one-man swarm.
So wait, let me get this right. Super Shinobi wears a mask, yes?
Yes.
Inhuman Fly wears a mask, yes?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to get that clear. So you have two guys wearing masks wrestling each other for a title.
Mm-hmm. But
where's Xander Stone's rematch?
But the title is not wearing a mask.
It should be.
You think it should?
Yeah. Why not?
You gonna make
this should be for the Masked Television Championship.
Remy, I'm going to shoot you. Ted, look in the chat room.
I see that. Thank you, Wong Fu.
Y'all have misconstrued that comment more times than I care to count, and I'm going to set the record straight one of these days. So when we go off the air tonight, everybody stay in the chat room, and I will clarify exactly what I said. And if I have to go back and pull it out of the archives, I will sit and listen, mainly because I don't remember what show it was, and I have to go back and listen to them all.
I remember, but I'm not telling you. I want to actually make you work.
Remember that. Remember you said that. You forget I'm still commissioner.
What's your point?
Well, Montana will never be the capital of the next Confederacy.
Wow, okay.
You wanted to go for an obscure reference? I gave you one.
That goes beyond obscure. That goes into the level of absurd.
I'm good at that.
Yes, you are, apparently.
Of course. That is my trademark, plain and simple. Tell you what, let's go in. Like I said, next Sunday night, 9 o'clock, we're going to go into full pre-cap and handicapping for the upcoming event. Also, we are working to have that many more interviews coming up this coming Sunday night. We're probably going to see if we can get Cody on. Might just go ahead and try to see if we can get the gentleman who will be facing O'Hagan on the 30th. We'll see if we can get Tommy Gage on and give everybody a chance to find out.
Last chance for phone calls, 205-316-9900. And I'm actually going to work on getting Trevor Eon and maybe Von Gruber if he's available. But he doesn't like you, Eddie, so I don't think he's going to call in.
Nobody likes me. And?
Well, I tolerate you. Is that close enough?
Dude, I don't even like me. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
Now, Ted Guinness, shameless plugs.
Oh, it's that time of the show where I get to promote myself.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody just tuned out. Follow me at Twitter, at TedGuinness.com, also at Loud Noises Inc., at Underground SOPW, couple websites we got going on right now, UndergroundStrongStyle.com. Check out the new redesign. They upgraded the tools on the website, so I'm actually working on converting the old style into the new style. And new feature in there every couple of days. I'm changing the featured match on the website, so you can see an Underground featured match, and I may pull out some stuff from different promotions. So if you're interested in checking that out, keep following. I usually post the updates on Underground SOPW on Twitter. Also, my own personal project that I'm working on, Loud Noises Inc. at loudnoisesinc.webs.com for I don't even know what I'm doing with it yet. I had an idea, it's not going to work, so I'm kicking around different ideas. So
you talking about the morning show?
If you just want to check that out and have a laugh, go right ahead.
Actually,
other than that, I got nothing.
Ted.
Yes.
You were making a reference to some of the projects you're working on. Are you still trying to do the late night morning show?
I am. I'm still trying to put together. I'm still trying to get segments and people that want to get involved in it. I just haven't had a whole lot of time. Of course, now that since Friday, I will have a whole lot of time this upcoming week to try to get some stuff together. I'm working on that show. Yes.
Okay, let me know how it's going, because like I said, if there's a situation, I would have said this off air, but if there's a situation in play and the timing's there, we can definitely sit down and work out some segments.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I actually have a member of our chat room who I'm trying to get on board for a segment. I'm not going to mention who. You'll just have to tune in for the surprise.
Well, Loud Little Girl's not in there, so it's obviously not her.
No, God, no, I actually want people to listen to the show. Why would I have Loud Little Girl on?
Oh, then you'd have Louder Little Girl on.
Well, thanks for just putting, all right, yeah. Thanks for ruining it, Eddie.
I didn't ruin anything. You're the one who sold it. You could have no-sold it. You could have schmozzed it.
No, see, that's what happens. When it starts getting to midnight, I lose all opportunities of no-sell.
Trust me, I can totally gloss over something if you throw it at me and I don't want to talk about it.
You gloss over everything I say. So.
Not necessarily. I pay more attention than I think I do.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's a great shot. I'm appearing in Brokeback Mountain the musical. Yay!
Oh,
that's intelligent.
That was bad.
That was horrible.
And is actually a poorly dated reference, too.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to be cute about it, you could have said that Ted's making the upcoming appearance in as the Golden Retriever in the next onstage production of Cats.
I don't know what that means, but hell, I'll go with that one.
Because the show is called Cats. It's about cats. And if you're showing up as a Golden Retriever, that would obviously be a bad casting call.
Anyone that puts me in any type of situation where I have to perform is a bad casting call.
There you go. Yours truly you can find on Twitter at Fast Eddie Lane, also through FastEddieLane.com. Sunday nights, 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern, 4:30 Mountain, 3:30 Pacific. You can catch me on Beyond Ringside with Mark Mabo Bowman, the Wicked Nemesis, and the entire Ringside Roundtable of Professional Wrestling as we cover wrestling and mixed martial arts sports talk, but don't call us a sports talk show.
No, because you won't let me call in and talk baseball.
You're right. Although if you want to call in and talk wrestling, the door's open. But from that vantage, or mixed martial arts for that matter.
I don't follow MMA.
Actually, there's a lot of great shows coming up, and I'll expound on this, or I'll take this from expounding from Beyond Ringside, because there's some shows coming up around the country. I know that Ring of Honor is going to have their iPay-per-view next Sunday at 5 Eastern, 4 Central, called Best in the World 2012, and it's going to have some really good matches on it, so I will be definitely watching the ROH iPay-per-view. And I will say this, and this is as real as it gets. I'll use the term, a straight shoot. For those who are in Pell City for Global Warfare, I'm not taking a shot at any other company. I swear I'm not. But if there was one show that I would put up as an iPay-per-view right now, it would have been Global Warfare. Because every match start to finish, you had people giving heart and soul inside that ring. And
I will agree with that 115%.
And that, now, everybody responded well. And I mean that in the most understated sense possible. Everybody responded beautifully, because a lot of people were thinking that we were going to be on an emotional roller coaster coming out of Global Warfare heading into Jasper. And once again, for those who were not in Jasper, that show was not taped. That is, none of those matches are going to be on TV. And everybody responded coming out of it. There was no emotional downfall. Everybody got in the ring and gave their heart all over again. There were some tremendous matches in Jasper. Now, once again, the aftermath of Global Warfare. Micah Taylor, we're not going to discuss at this point in time. Everybody knows about Spiral and Kuntz. The numbers for the Underground are a little bit depleted right now because of circumstances. However, I will say this. You and I both know Micah Taylor. If there's somebody who can pull a rabbit out of the hat, and turn a defeat into a situation where he can shove it back in our faces, it's Micah Taylor. He may have said, I quit. He may have had a setback, but he is long from done. That's why I will be watching over my shoulder in Pell City on June 30th. I didn't have to worry so much about watching over my shoulder in Jasper because I had him in plain sight the whole time. But there is
I don't think you necessarily have to worry about watching over your shoulder in Pell City, considering that curtains there would make it really hard for someone to sneak up on you.
Yeah, pretty much. Bump, shove, push.
Well, then again, I am always standing next to you.
And you, I trust, about the same.
I take that as a high praise.
No problem. But from that vantage point, at GCW Pro Wrestling on Twitter, Facebook.com/GCW Pro is the friends page. GCW Pro Wrestling is the fan page. Like us, friend us, please. Thank you. Also, your home for all things Global Championship Wrestling, GCWPro.com. Want to give a very special thank you to Victor Smith with GCW Photos. Been posting a lot of great photographs of current and previous day shows. Thank you, Vic, for all the hard work you do. We are going to be posting updates to, we're going to be adding photographs in the very near future. I've got a lot of them here in the studio on computer number 2. And from that vantage point, I'm finally getting some free time to where I'm actually going to be sending some out to our producers over at Roaring Creek, as well as some of the others here on staff that are helping us work on some of the photo projects. And we're going to get updated roster photos, as well as new graphics and a lot of other things coming down the pike in the very near future. Is there a revamp for GCWPro.com in the near future? There might just be. Stay tuned.
Okay, and let me clarify for those of you just now following. Revamp for the website, very near future, equals 2018.
You almost said 19.
I almost did, yeah. I almost jumped into DeLorean, got it up to 88, and went back in time.
There you go. Going back to the future yet again. Always great to hear from O'Hagan. We were actually expecting JJ to call in tonight and be a part of the team, but I know JJ's had a long day, probably is, since, of course, he's doing the Father's Day thing as well, especially with Little Tanner. Or is it Little... No, it's not Little Boom anymore. It's Little Tanner. But, like I said, to all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. To my dad, happy Father's Day, sir. Thank you for putting up with me, Dad. And believe me, that ain't the easiest thing in the world.
I can attest to that.
There you go. Folks, we're going to be back at it next Sunday night, 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern, right here on GCW Radio. For Tag Team Partners JJ Tanner in absentia, happy Father's Day. For Tag Team Partner having departed, Mr. O'Hagan. For Ted Guinness.
For Fast Eddie Lane.
Now, that was your chance to say bye-bye.
Oh. Bye-bye.
This is Fast Eddie Lane saying until next time, adios, das vidania, hasta luego, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, sayonara, adieu, arrivederci, farewell, abessinia, au revoir, and until we meet again, aloha means bye-bye. Join us next Sunday, 10 Eastern, 9 Central, as we go ringside and beyond with Global Championship Wrestling.
Hey, Mama, Fast Eddie made fun of me again. Mama, I didn't have 20 cents for that payphone thing. When do I get my allowance? Hey, Mama, I want some bling bling. Mama, why are they always being mean to me? I'm gonna get you, Fast Eddie Lane. Hey, Mama, can I go bouncing on 24s? Hey, Mama, can I get a what? Mama, I'm gonna get them radio talking peoples. Hey, Mama, I'm gonna bounce like this.
Easter eggs done. We're out. Bye-bye.
Oh, please don't mention bouncing a loud little girl in the same sentence.
Hi, I'm Ryan Seacrest for RAD. Over 300 people in this country are killed every week by a drunk driver. That's the equivalent of 2 747 plane crashes every single week. And the problem isn't going away unless we all do our part to stop it. So if you see someone who's about to drive after drinking, get the keys. Don't leave it up to anyone else. friends don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service announcement brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
If you can tell me one situation that works out perfectly the first time you try it, I'll give you $1. Greetings, good evening, how you doing? Just after the top of the hour on a Sunday night kind of thing, live from the Vault in the Full Range Entertainment Studios. Welcome to GCW Radio. Fast Eddie Lane welcoming in tag team partner
Ted Guinness, broadcasting from the
Loud Noises
studios in Atlanta, Georgia. And wow, this is probably one of the most anticipated shows that I can remember in quite a while. A lot of things coming out of Jasper last night, and we are going to just blow this thing up.
Exactly. Okay. Good Lord. What is playing with me now? Spinning back over to one real quick. Let's see how this is going to fly. 3, 2, 1, and I'm getting a split signal. Okay, that's normal for me. I was looking at some different chat programs, and I'm going to leave this one out to everybody at this point. The Ustream chat is better. Unfortunately, I don't have the way to pipe in a Ustream chat feed over here to where we can all use it. Right now, signal going out live, beyondringside.com. Tell you what, I'm going to see how this works. We're doing everything flying by the seat of our pants, and you're right, coming out of last night, it was definitely a great night up in Jasper, Alabama at the A&E Fun Center. It was great to see everybody last night. Yeah, I think Cause and Stu have a new theme song that they can work with as far as the cause and effect, right?
Yeah, it's you definitely hit me up with something last night. I'd never heard that version of well, I've never heard that song before, so that took me by surprise. But I thought that was hilarious. You know, the one thing that I'm going to say about GCW house shows as opposed to just regular, you know, our TV tapings, which we have a great time doing the TV tapings, but, you know, everything seems, you know, everything falls within a certain format to where, you know, we got to do the match, we got to make sure that we're set for the next match, make sure everything's synced up with the audio, with the TV. We don't really have a whole lot of time for, you know, we don't have the ability to interact with the fans. And last night, being that it was a non-televised event, a house show, so to speak, we got to interact with the fans a little bit last night, and that definitely adds a different element to Global Championship Wrestling show. So if you're not going to a show, to a GCW show when it's coming to your town, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. True. And last night would definitely be the icing on the cake, so to speak, as far as you know, you had cause and effect in the house. On the other side of the ring, you had Francis. You know, we had 2 out of the 3 elements to bring loud noises to Jasper last night, and we were missing one last night.
Yes, very true. And I'm probably going to get, you know, clobbered by Francis at the next possible opportunity, especially after a couple of the lines. I kind of wonder if they actually did do the Demolition Derby. I'm having one of my days.
You know, would you like to back up and try again?
No, I'll let it go. But really, last night, great action inside the ring. Fans rocking all the way through the A&E Fun Center. Great to see everybody last night. Real quick before I go any further, like I said, we're trying with the new audio. I am working my darndest real quick to find another chat program, because apparently the chat program that I had selected has decided it wants to play a little bit fickle. I just have to wonder if I have to deal with the factor of the Ustream commercials in order to get the chat feed over here. Do me a favor, folks, hang tight for just a second, and I'm going to try and experiment real quick. Bear with me. Like I say, don't panic, don't stress, don't worry. I may get everybody to refresh the page in just a minute, so bear with me right here on GCW Radio. Let's try this thing on for size and see what happens. Welcome back into GCW Radio. Fast Eddie Lane over here.
Ted Guinness over here.
All right, for those of you listening on all fronts, refresh beyondringside.com. You're going to have to restart the player, but I have switched out the chat program, and I want to see how well this works.
Okay. I've got it loading up on my side here.
Okie dokie. So I'm also keeping an eye over on Ustream as well, so bear with me on that front.
Please sign in. All right. Oh, hey.
Well, there you go.
Oh, we'll see what happens here.
There you go.
Nothing like doing experiments live on the air, I'll tell you.
Exactly. Well, all right. Both of us are in there. So to everybody who's over in the Ustream chat, come on over. Trust me. BeyondRingside.com, the chat is definitely there. So
yes, and I think it should be a live feed now.
It is. It is. So
Yay!
All right. Yeah, it's live. I just saw.
All right. Things are finally coming together.
It really is. Speaking of coming together, I have to wonder if Mike Posey thinks that his World Television Championship shot is coming together that much more after last night.
He was verbally abusive to you last night.
He's always verbally abusive. That's the easy way to say it. Posey, what can you say? He is very gifted, very talented, and he knows it. You know, I think you were joking with me, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. Ted was challenging me away from the microphone while Posey was going through a little bit of a rant pre-match to play Sexy and I Know It.
And you should have done it.
I almost did. I really almost did. I think it would have been funny as hell.
I think so, too. That's kind of why I was trying to say, do it, Eddie.
And I think we just found Stuart.
I think so.
So
welcome in the chat.
Faster Eddie Lane. Yeah, I know. I like that. It's funny. There you go. But last night, all actuality, Posey, one heck of an outing. I'm really kind of looking forward to seeing exactly which direction he's going to go. And speaking of directions, his opponent from the match last night, Kuntz, will be joining us right around the top of the 10 o'clock Central Time hour, right here on GCW Radio.
And that's a little bit of a sore subject for me, but yeah, Eddie, not to throw you off here, but we could talk about Posey, we could talk about Kuntz, we could talk about everything else that happened last night. But I think what we need to talk about is the reason that we're going to have our guest on here in a couple of minutes. That is going to be Spiral from the Underground joining us here on GCW Radio. Okay. And if you weren't in Jasper last night, you missed the big news coming out of not only the Underground, but Global Championship Wrestling as a whole. And that is, one of our own is heading to Japan. Spiral is going to Japan to 0-1 for 90 days.
Right.
And he's not only going to be representing the Underground, but he's going to be representing Global Championship Wrestling. And it was... The last night was one of those moments that if you could have captured it on TV, that could have been one of those, that could be something that you could run over and over again and win an Emmy for. There was definitely some emotion, and a lot of the bad blood was put aside last night. After there was a tremendous six-man tag match. After that match was over, Micah let it out of the bag that Spiral was heading to Japan.
And before you go any further, he's with us now. Ladies and gentlemen, I will go ahead and say still one half of the GCW World Tag Team Champions, one half of the Underground Soldiers. Ladies and gentlemen, Spiral, right here on GCW Radio. Welcome in, buddy.
What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
What's going on, Spiral?
And
not much, man.
Ted, I apologize for the interruption. Go ahead and pick up where you left off unless you want to take it from square two.
I'll take it from square two. First and foremost, let me just say, on behalf of everybody in the Underground, and I'm even going to go ahead and say on behalf of everybody for Global Championship Wrestling, congratulations on the 90 days over in Japan. I know you're excited about it. Why don't you walk us through exactly how it happened? How did you get the call? When did you hear from Nakamura? Lay it all out. Tell us exactly the origins of how this all came about.
Well, I mean, I always wanted to go to Japan. You know what I'm saying? That's any wrestler any wrestler, you know what I'm saying, is dreaming, you know, to go to Japan, to go, you know, overseas, especially in Japan, because that's just, you know, the biggest market in wrestling, you know what I mean? And it's all about wrestling. It's not entertainment, you know what I'm saying? So, but, you know, Mike went over there, Tracy went over there, you know, and Mike has good connections, you know what I'm saying? So, I got a call, what was it, 2 days later after the Global Warfare, and, well, Mike called me, but Mike got the call, you know, and they invited me to come over and, you know, and train with him, you know, and do shows with him for 3 months. So, very excited. I can't wait. I leave on the 18th of June, and I stay over there for 3 months, and I'll be back September 11th. Yep.
Now, when you go over to Japan, you know, this is not your first international experience. However, this is going to be your first professional wrestling international experience outside of the United States for an extended period of time. How are you preparing for, you know, being in a different culture, being immersed in a completely different, you know, you're going to have a different language. There's going to be a language barrier. There's definitely going to be a lot of cultural differences. How are you preparing yourself for that experience?
I'm not trying to go, you know, I'm not trying to get freaked out. I'm not trying to go all crazy, you know, with whatever. I'm just doing the same thing we always do, you know, at the underground. We just train, you know, and, you know, I mean, I push a little harder, you know what I'm saying, because I want to make everybody look good, including GCW. You know, we have our differences, but GCW is still giving my first shot to wrestle, you know. When it comes to going to Japan, I'm a black belt in martial arts. I'm a black belt in Shitoru, Japanese style, and I've been doing that for 6 years before I started wrestling. So I'm kind of familiar with the Japanese language and everything, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not too freaked out, but I'm very excited.
You know, one of the things that, you know, there's definitely differences between, you know, the United States style of professional wrestling and the Japanese style of professional wrestling, where they tend to hit harder. Things seem to be at a lot more intense pace. And knowing you the way I do, you know, I don't see that being a problem for you. How much are you actually looking forward to getting in there and working a let's call it a harder style of match as far as physicality goes?
I'm actually, I mean, I am looking forward to it. You know, it's a strong style, and that's what we claim in the underground too. So I like challenge, and I like to fight different things, and this is a great experience. You know, so we'll see.
Eddie, jump on in anytime.
Actually, I was enjoying listening.
Come on, Eddie. Come on, Eddie. Come on. It's your radio show, man. Why did I take over for you?
No, I was about to, but, you know, I figure I might as well let Eddie get one word in edgewise.
Well, I mean, he's slacking hard, man. Come on, dude. We gotta blow this radio station up, man.
Wait. Not that I'm
commissioner, bro. Like you're slacking. Come on, bro.
Not that I'm slacking. Ted Guinness is the voice of the underground, and for all intent and purposes, you are still a member of the underground just as much as you're a member of the GCW roster. So guess what? Haha. I defaulted to let the voice of the underground take for a while. Plus, I was also working on the chat, making sure everything was stable over there. We're trying some